After the beginning being God, the Alpha and Omega, Yahweh, Lucifer, the first angel, the archangel that God had made, who was his greatest angel, decided to challenge God. Instead he fell, and with him a third of the host of heaven. And he would lose his heavenly powers, become diminished and distorted, and God would strip him of his beauty. So the earth was created, and on the earth, not too long ago, as the scientists would tell us, there were dinosaurs that were upon the earth, along with the animals. And in the animals in the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve being the first made by Yahweh, our God Almighty, alone, who made them perfectly and made them unique, that no angel could ever make anything like, which they would attempt over and over again. Satan, being stricken down now into even a more diminished form, losing his legs, would be limited. So therefore he would have to spread his serpent seed another way. So therefore, there comes the Anunnaki. In the days of Jared, and Jared being the father of Enoch, the seventh antediluvian king, and also the seventh from Adam. So this proves that there must have been angels much longer after Adam that had came down, which had also been talked about in the book of Enoch, and that the Sumerians would also recognize and write many tales about. There were tales about Gilgamesh, who was also considered a mighty man of renown, which Genesis in chapter 6 talks about. Those who came down, the sons of God, and saw the women of the earth, and found them alluring, and told them many things. These angels had made a pact amongst themselves, the 200 of them, that they would keep quiet amongst themselves, but that they would manipulate mankind and play as gods. Yes, they would do many crazy and wicked things. They were supposed to come down anyway to teach good crafts to mankind and good knowledge, but instead Igigi and many others along with him. But there was 4 major Anunnaki, or fallen angel, or as the ancient angels would say, aliens, and would try to manipulate the media even with this. Well, anyway, Igigi, being one of the head fallen angels, would be Azazel, also worshipped as the Bel gods in the Akkadian cultures, and the Assyrian, and the Babylonian, and Mesopotamian ways, and religions, and pantheon of gods and kings. The Sumerians would even make a Sumerian king list, placing themselves almost as gods, even underneath the Anunnaki, making a range and making a rank for them. They would recognize the lesser servants even. We will talk about them soon, for they are called the Igigi, and Enoch also talks about them. Not only were these powerful angels like Enlil and Michael, who was also a good angel, though, who did not fall, but ended up being manipulated later and worshipped wrongly. Therefore he had to withdraw completely almost from mankind, not being visible to confuse them. Satan had his own agenda again still, even with the fallen angels. They would end up doing his plans and not even know it. You see, on Saturn and Venus and Moon, these planets have special qualities. And yes, there were secrets that God would have for us, but these secrets would soon expire towards the end of mankind. God talks about this, and he tells the angels that their secrets will be no good anymore after Christ comes back for the second coming and defeats Satan completely and throws him into the bottomless pit to burn forever and to be in the lake of fire, along with all the other fallen angels, such as Igigi or Azazel, if you would like to call him. These angels had made hybrids. These angels also, if you notice, were manipulated in strange ways by the Sumerians. Sometimes as reptilians, sometimes with wings, sometimes with large and huge bodies. Some of these were giants, though, the Nephilim, the sons of the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki means the sons of Anu, for Anu was the top god. And as you will see and through your findings and research through Sumerian culture, that Anu actually is hardly ever pictured. There's only maybe a couple of pictures of him, of what people have depicted as Anu. Igigi made sure to keep him out of the limelight most of the time, but never, ever, ever challenging him completely, and always keeping Anu as the top-ranking god, even himself. But these giants would trick mankind, these Nephilim even, for they were evil spirits, and evil spirits that would remain after they died. Yes, they would be free to float about the earth, and change things, and manipulate mankind, and give them illusions. These Anunnaki Nephilim would even be worshipped as gods themselves, such as their parents, the Anunnaki, who were restricted to the underworld of the earth after their sins, which we'll get into a little bit better. But these Sumerians would worship such gods as the top angels that they had names for, like Igigi, like Ishtar, like Nana, who was actually a female, and Utu also was another god that they kept and revered, who was not a lesser god, but considered themselves a god. But back to Igigi, who was actually Azazel, as written in Greek culture many times, and by Enoch mostly, and that was the Greek name for him actually, would talk about these abominations that they would do, and that these sons would end up having to murder each other, the sons of the Anunnaki killing each other off, even while the Anunnaki were still around to watch, for they were forced to watch the sons die. But the Babylonian culture would have its way, and it would influence mankind severely, changing them, making them different. In Egypt, there were great monuments built, such as the Sphinx. There was gold that was revered. There was Sumerian tales about gold mining, and that they had to rebuild their atmosphere in Nibiru. This is not true, however, for Igigi forced slavery upon mankind, and forced them to mine the gold to build structures, and to build such beautiful decorations, all in honor of him, and all of the tales of him, which Eric von Däniken likes to talk about a lot, Igigi, and Zacharias Stitchen likes to also kind of revere or praise Igigi. Well, this horrible person made it to where they created things, manipulated things. Did not create, let me correct. They can only manipulate, for fallen angels only have that power. They cannot create. So they did DNA manipulation from the very start. They even made a biotech servant called the Igigi, which are the strange gray aliens, who would help them build such flying devices, wild things that we see today that has been hidden and is now revealed and still challenged. But it is true that there was greater technology than even what we have today in the ancient past. But the ancient past not being so far as we think. For the Igigi and the lesser servants who were cursed, also like the fallen angels, would help the Egyptians, would help the Sumerians build these things, would help them with tools. So even after the pyramids were built as power plants to keep the whole place generated, they would also recharge these spaceships that they would use to fly into the heavens. Then we have Akhenaten. Some people think he may be Obama. It is a possibility, but I will not say that for sure. And that Nefertiti had been a DNA clone manipulation and brought about from our day to help usher in the Antichrist. if he is not the Antichrist himself, which is still a major possibility. Yes, such hybrids with horns and wings mixed into them, and the animals of the earth, it wasn't as hard as you think. Mixing evil reptilian type of DNA that's already been deformed, cursed into mankind. The serpent race was beautiful at one time. At one time it was very beautiful. Yes, these fallen angels would not only have war with each other, but their sons would, and they would force mankind. They even made depictions showing that they were into slavery, far before the Jews were put into slavery, or the Ethiopians. These gray aliens are still known about today. Yes, the modern media loves to make them so alluring and strange, almost fantasy-like, bending our curiosities into their great technology, making movies to help manipulate. Yes, Akhenaten, who was the call of the alien god, brought about monotheism with the worship of Aten. This wasn't hard to do, and if you notice, Aten ends with the same as Anunnaki almost, or Akhenaten. I'm sorry, not Anunnaki. It ends the same as Akhenaten. So there's almost a reverence to himself being the god, and part of the god, which he did claim. Yes, many civilizations afterward would continue to do such things as making hybrids. All the fallen angels would have to be punished, for not only were they hurting mankind and killing off each other, they were destroying things and hurting the beasts of the earth and having sex in wild and unnatural ways. And this would soon happen again, just as the Bible had predicted. In Revelation, in Isaiah, these books, and John being a great book, to find out about this present apocalypse we are about to face now. For there is one more deluge. It was also predicted that these gray Igigi biotech servants, which they said in Area 51 when they tried to cut into, was like cutting into some type of fabric. Proving this so. These beings from the far past had visited the Mayans also, claiming to be Quetzalcoatl. Well, the Mayans had picked up from, not technology, but from the beliefs and the religions themselves from earlier generations, like the Incans. Notice Incans is the same as Igigi. So Igigi must have had an influence upon their civilization. And if you notice, it matches up a lot with the Sumerian culture, the Mayan culture does. They talk about the same predictions about these Anunnaki, about these Igigi gray aliens that we still have plenty of fossils of from the far past depicting them. But still, modern man is in denial. But would you consider these aliens something that would help mankind be good for us? These ugly beings, these distorted beings that would change and manipulate to where these things would become evil and destroy each other and unnatural? Of course not. They are demons. They are those biotech servants have demon spirits inhabiting them. Not only are demon spirits floating about the earth freely and influencing mankind, they are also possessing many things. Men, some men, but also objects and things that are manipulated, such as an Igigi alien, which is truly not an alien, but a demon or an evil spirit. So therefore the great flood had to come about and wash mankind of its wickedness, because mankind itself had been mixed in with the Nephilim blood so badly that things were just bizarre, crazy, and unnatural. For the earth moaned, and the earth cries anytime mankind cries. Anytime man does great damage, the earth suffers. So therefore man will suffer just as the earth. Eventually. They talked about predictions for Venus. Well, Venus was just another thing, or another lie that Igigi had come up with. Igigi had taught many wicked things in them, such as blood sacrifice, to give the blood to the demons of the underworld. This is crazy and bizarre and not natural. So Christ would come about. He was talked about Enoch, the head of Daisy. This book had been written in 1800 BC. The book of Enoch was proven to have at least been finished by then, and switched over into Ethiopians being the first to have it and give the first translation of it. So if you can get that version, that is the best. So we went through, and we go through learning technology all over again after the earth had been wiped clean. Having inventors such as Edison and Napoleon, who was considered not an inventor, but actually a warmonger, who may be an Antichrist, one of them, of the four. For you see, Yahshua, the head of days, Jesus Christ, our Savior, is to come again and defeat Bel, gods, and which are of Azazel and Igigi, and Satan's plans that have went into the world from the beginning. For Igigi even came up with a plan called Igigi and the World Order. You see, the Sumerians went back, as far as back as we could date in the culture, was when the flood had wiped the earth clean of its antediluvian evil age. And this world order would somehow put mankind into ways that would be easy to manipulate and to control, keeping man restricted from having its free nature with God, actually, where they came from. For we are brothers of God. If you choose to go towards evil, you will be just like someone as the Bush family had done murder upon the U.S. Yes, 9/11 was a false flag event. And it was done to get us into the Middle East, not only to get into Iraq, to steal many Mesopotamian treasures, but to steal all the information about the Anunnaki, where they would await the return of these fallen angels. But they think of them as gods, as lesser gods, well, actually. But that mankind can be gods just like them, which cheapens it completely. For there is only one God, and for God means one thing, the top. And then, of course, there has to be a top to everything. As we see 9/11 just had too many things. Laser designation point. They were using military cargo planes, not passenger jets. Everything was messed up about it. Yeah, it was just like big drones that they flew into the towers. Now, it is also predicted that Obama was put in from the Muslim Brotherhood. It is a possibility, but also I think he is a part of a greater plan and ushering in this world order. These plans that even the Bush administration had brought into. For it does say, even in Nostradamus' prediction, that the African heart will come again. And the Mohammedans will challenge the Christians and challenge many things on the earth, but they will even fall. And then it will be the time of the Antichrist. The perfect time would be after a great catastrophe, a great destruction of the earth that is about to happen. The second deluge of fire comes down on the earth, not the destruction of the earth, for the earth cannot be destroyed until another 1,000 or so years, for we have just entered the tribulation, and this I do know as a fact. I do not claim to predict certain things that I don't know for sure, but there are a few things that I do know for sure, and I will let you know the difference. I do know for sure there is a group called Club Bilderberg, and that they meet in the Bavarian Grove. And this is done in worship of Marduk and the worship of gods of Moloch and such. these secret societies would help even recruit Hollywood celebrities into satanic worship to help strengthen their lesser gods, they believe. For what temporary powers they are granted will fall. And if you notice how the celebrities, and if you check into them, most of them will tell you they've sold their soul to the devil. They do satanic things. All of them. If they're not satanic, then why are they doing all these satanic things? Why do they hold reverence to it? Why is it so important to keep pushing it? And the one eye thing, is it dangerous? For people, I even sought knowledge. Regrettably, going out without God's guidance completely. But He brought me to Him. Praise the Lord. Christ brought me back to Him. For Jerusalem is the main goal right now upon the earth. And that is what the Antichrist is trying to sit upon. That His throne upon the earth, which belongs to God. These fallen angels, who will return after 70 generations, which that time is now. And they have already returned. They have just returned, actually. For the Mayan calendar was off 1 year because of leap year. There was not some great deluge that was supposed to happen. It was supposed to be the return of Quetzalcoatl. Check your history and read into it. And you'll find it on many shows even. Some shows won't mention it. They'll talk about Catastrophe of 2012 instead during the winter solstice. But that is not true at all. It was all about the return. And that's why the calendar ended in, because they did not know how to write his history until their Lord, who is the devil, would come back. Well, the devil's servant, Azazel, Igigi, who is being talked about even today. Okay, if he is no importance of Sumerian god that he was, that he's been proven and written about in many things, in the cuneiform. If he is not this, if Azazel is not that, then why did they name one of the comets that came along with Isaac, Igigi? In fact, if you check your maps, your solar maps, you will find Igigi that they expected to return. They just named it. Actually, it's been named for a while, but they've just now been showing it where they've named it. These evil Igigi point out many plans. You see the artifacts of the Mayans depicting alien craft, alien faces, and such. Well, yes, there is truth in that. But does that mean they are aliens, as we know, as we are told, as media portrays them? No, of course not. They are the demons that they look like. Great catastrophes will come again during this great tribulation. Fire, flood, drought, death, war, great destruction. All in the pursuit of this great technology. We have to go out in space and find out more. There's so much to tend to on the earth. And spend millions and billions of dollars on programs that is out to strengthen our U.S. government or the elite. Throwing all of our tax dollars into such things. When your lives are in jeopardy, will you be fooled? Will you be a puppet? Will you be a pansy? All to be sacrificed for these reptilian lesser beings that will be destroyed, and they know it, and that's why they recklessly run about. They have nothing left to lose, for they are damned. The Anunnaki were cursed forever. God would give them their 70 generations, and this is all a test upon mankind. All of it, if you wonder. And God is not cruel. He is most merciful. He has given you and me chances after chances. While this new world order goes crazy and chaos goes amok, don't give in. This is the time to turn to Christ. This is the time to realize that out there, that there is God that created. It would take a God to create such things. That's Sumerian gods, and to be pushed back into slavery as such. Fire will rain down on the earth as predicted. Read Revelation, for the sixth seal has already been opened, and the worship of Isis in the temple of Isis will be also uplifted. They will look to where Apollo's birth, being the same as Prometheus, being the same as Azazel, Enki, to worship. And this beast, Azazel, who is the beast, will be strengthening Satan in his plan and his grip upon the earth. Do not give in to these bell gods, these devils, or Lucifer, Baphomet, who is also a main bell god, who is a depiction of a bell god by the Persians. Turn to Christ, for he is gentle, he is kind, loving, sacrificed himself for you. He is the Word, and the Word was with God. No thing that man put on this earth, or even written, can be holy, only Christ, for he is the only one. Thank you.